All right. So, Three Nations. I first really stumbled upon them around right before October last year. They've been around for a little while longer than that. It's just that's when I saw it. And honestly, every beer they made was Bavarian, German, very deep, heavy body, malty, strong malt backbones, just phenomenal. So anyone who looks for those kind of beers, they're definitely something to go to, especially around the holidays. They're going to have really pristine ingredients, really good water. St. Arnold does. So the ones that really follow German, Bavarian, and there's one more. Basically all on Belgium. The Belgium, the whole influence is covering good water, good ingredients, beautiful hops, time, very not too crazy intense recipes, just very simple things that just create these super wonderful beers. And the only thing that you have to remember though is they have very good winters. So honestly, if you're up north, I would see that being very amazing. You're gonna have your holidays, especially you want to hit at least 50 degrees. It needs to start getting chilly before you start having those heavy beers. But if you like them, go ahead. When it gets hot, just be careful. It's just definitely when you have too much heaviness in your stomach, your blood and has to focus on your stomach, and more of it goes towards there, and there's less of oxygen. So like you will get hit harder. You're not going to be intaking the water because the first thing it has to do is get rid of the alcohol. So your body takes priority on kicking the alcohol out. It's technically not all that good for you. Just, there's a little bit and there's benefits, and then you get past that and there's just overindulgence. It's not a good thing. So in a nutshell, if you're in warmer weather areas, you're probably going to do lighter beers. Just, less alcohol, more water. They're just more beneficial. But if you got to have some good beers, Three Nation they have it. So this is their first IPA I'm having by them, I believe. I'm pretty sure because I had like the Oktoberfest, and I've had a stout from them, the Mexican style. So good. So let's see what they got on IPAs. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, this is gonna definitely be a hazy bad boy. I forgot on the last one. Don't really swish it too hard, but definitely if you're starting to get into some good hazies, you're getting into, there was an IPA, I forgot who was it. It was a Skull Strawberry or something. There will be some particles in the bottom, so a little swirl should agitate most of it, but not too heavy because it will release the carbonation. But that is, it just says Mountain IPA, so I guess the mountain represents the beautiful fog, the mist, the low clouds, which would definitely be a very good descriptor for hazy, which also they say cloudy a lot. So there we go, cloudy beer. I skipped the smell and went to, ooh, that's gorgeous. It's just, it has a good malt to it. Just the malts are just really nice. And off the nose, the hoppiness is not intense, but then tasting it, it does have a beautiful bitterness from it, but it's very pleasant. It's not overwhelming. It's not heavy. Let's see, more on the grassy, a little more on the piney, a little more in the pine tar, but it's not super heavy. So you're gonna get more of like the brown part of the pine. So like when you get these flavors, each hops is basically a flower, but the way they sit, they have, been reading more of the anatomy, they have an area for the actual plant itself, so that's where you get your beautiful green notes from, where it's like the leaf of the plant. But then the glands, these have these oils that are just super intense, and that's where all your bitterness and all that, this super good stuff comes from. And sometimes it really comes out very almost earthy. So like earthy is the best way to describe like minerality or something that's brown, just boom. And so this has enough mellow, deep flavor that it's almost like a branch or the bark, but you're still getting because if you go, like if you use cherry wood, you get these beautiful fruits from it, but then the actual wood has cherry notes in it. Then you got apple trees, beautiful fruit, and then you actually start using the tree. Once it passes on, you have to like chop it or something. You get the beautiful apple aroma from the wood itself. So it's all the collection of what's in the whole plant that creates that beautiful fragrance and taste, and then aroma, and it goes concentrated into the fruit, which is optimal for eating. But the rest of it, you would never catch yourself chewing on a piece of tree. So the benefit is you get smokiness and you get that flavor together, and you can put that in your food. Some people have been barrel aging stuff, so you get a little bit of that in liquor, which there was one from Jane. It's in New York, Widow Jane. Oh, they had a apple wood barrel for a whiskey they made, and it was like I was drinking liquid apple. Didn't have to put any apples in it. It was just a beautiful apple trees that they no longer needed. They gave it another purpose before they voyage to the afterlife, and it was just phenomenal. So from that I learned this. So within the hops from the vine, this obviously has that good deep flavor with the super malt back. Very not dirty earthy, just like clean, fragrant, like you're in the woods. It's like you're in the mountains. And now I'm seeing what they're seeing, because like a lot of breweries, they really have to drink this, and they're like, oh, that's a fun part. Not really, because you're drinking this, you're like, what am I going to name it? What is it going to be? How do I distinguish myself from somebody else? And you're having fun, you're having a blast, you're like, this needs to be something that they can see. And so now that I'm going through it, cloudiness, plant, a lot of hops, so excuse me. That was not planned. I do apologize. Luckily I'm at home, staying here. It does happen. Anyways, yeah, I'm seeing the whole picture, and if you see, they definitely got all the way across. So when you really start to learn a little bit more, I'm not saying to be super depth into it. There's a lot of people like, oh, this is a beer, and they can really focus on the beer. I really want to know what the brewers are doing. I want to know what real time they're having. I want to know what's going on, because a lot of them, they get out there in distilleries, wineries, they get beautiful open land. There's something they want. There's something about the area that contributes to it. And obviously where they're at, what they're doing, all this stuff, I can definitely really feel it and understand and comprehend. So El Capitan is the best of both worlds. It is a beer bridge over the Continental Divide, the location where New England IPA meets West Coast IPA. It was all of the body and some of the bite. El Capitan Mountain IPA is a cool breeze enjoyed after reaching the peak. Nice. Carlin, Texas. All right. So it's called El Capitan, but I was focusing really on the Mountain IPA because it's the first time that I've heard of a Mountain IPA, and I wanted to know what it was about. All right. Still, once again, Three Nations, phenomenal. I'm a fan. I'm really loving what you're bringing to the table. Yeah. It a little bit does remind me of being in Germany. When you're in Germany, you really, even the pills is just so intense. It's like, whoa. And I went from 0 to 100, and I learned as much as I could, but I was really just hanging with my boys. So I'm not really that knowledge to when I came back. And then now I'm really taking the time. I'm like, man, I had so much opportunity over there, and I didn't take advantage of it. But you can still live, learn, love, all that stuff, and help other people understand, and hopefully have them have a good pint and drink to that too. God, that's solid. That's solid. One more time. Damn it, Three Nations. And I'm going to have to sit for a while and finish my movie. But you do have a good night. And don't be what I've been doing. Just pace yourself and have a good night.